What if I told you that some of the UK's biggest cities are facing a crime crisis like never before? In just the last few years, crime rates have skyrocketed in certain areas, and the impact is being felt right now. In the streets you walk every day, violent crime is up by a staggering 40% in some cities, and gangs are growing in power, spreading fear among residents. In today's video, we're taking you inside the 10 UK cities that are under siege by crime. Cities you might not have expected to make the list. Is your city one of them? That's the question you'll want to stick around for, because some of these cities are facing shocking increases in knife crime, robbery, and gang violence. But what's behind this rise in criminal activity? Is it the lack of police resources, economic disparity, or something else entirely? And most importantly, what does it mean for you and your safety? Prepare to be stunned as we reveal the cities where crime is spiralling out of control. From Birmingham's gang turf wars to Manchester's violent crime spikes, these cities are struggling to maintain control, and we'll tell you exactly why. Don't hit pause. This is the kind of info you need to know if you want to understand the dark side of the UK's most famous cities. Stay tuned to find out which cities are becoming the most dangerous in the UK today. Number 10. Bristol. Bristol, known for its vibrant arts scene and diverse culture, has recently become one of the UK's most concerning cities when it comes to crime. Despite its reputation for creativity and innovation, Bristol is facing a surge in violent crime that has left locals feeling unsettled. In particular, the city has seen a significant increase in knife crimes, which have been linked to gang activity and youth violence. Along with this rise in violent crimes, property crimes, including burglary and thefts, have become more prevalent, affecting residents and businesses alike. The city's picturesque streets and iconic landmarks, like the Clifton Suspension Bridge, are now facing the unfortunate side effect of a growing criminal presence. So what's fueling this rise in crime? A key factor is the city's economic divide, with some neighbourhoods grappling with high levels of poverty and unemployment, creating a breeding ground for criminal behaviour. Additionally, the drug trade in Bristol has seen a marked increase, contributing to a rise in drug-related offences. In response, local authorities are ramping up efforts to address these issues, with increased police patrols and community outreach programmes. But despite these efforts, Bristol's crime situation remains a challenge, and it continues to top the list of cities struggling with rising crime rates in the UK. Will Bristol's crime wave subside, or will it continue to grow? Only time will tell. Number 9. Birmingham. Birmingham, the second largest city in the UK, is facing a sharp rise in crime that's impacting its once thriving communities. Known for its rich history, industrial roots, and cultural diversity, Birmingham is now grappling with a concerning surge in violent crime, including stabbings, gun violence, and gang-related incidents. Once regarded as a hub of innovation, this urban centre now finds itself struggling to maintain safety amid increasing criminal activity. One of the most disturbing trends in Birmingham is the rise of youth violence. A growing number of young people are getting involved in gang culture, which has been linked to an increase in knife crime. These violent confrontations are not limited to the city's underprivileged areas. They're spilling into more affluent neighbourhoods as well, making it difficult for residents to feel secure. Street gangs are a major issue, and the intense competition over drug territories is fueling much of the violence. Property crimes are also on the rise, with burglary and vehicle thefts becoming common occurrences. Residents are worried about the increasing presence of criminal networks involved in both drug trafficking and illegal activities that continue to permeate various parts of the city. Birmingham has unfortunately become a hotspot for these issues. To tackle these problems, police forces in Birmingham have been ramping up efforts, but resources are strained. Efforts such as increasing police patrols in affected neighbourhoods and introducing youth outreach programmes are being implemented to reduce gang involvement. Yet despite these initiatives, crime rates in the city continue to rise, and many feel that these actions aren't enough to stem the tide. Birmingham's crime problems highlight the disparities between its prosperous areas and its deprived communities. Without addressing these economic gaps, social inequalities, and the lack of opportunities, the city may continue to see its crime issues worsen. Can Birmingham turn this around? It remains to be seen. Number 8. Glasgow. Glasgow, Scotland's largest city, has made significant strides over the years in improving its reputation. However, it's now facing an alarming rise in violent crime that's overshadowing much of its progress. Once known for its troubled history with gang violence, Glasgow has unfortunately seen a resurgence in knife crime, drug-related violence, and street-level aggression. The rise in violent crime can largely be attributed to the persistent presence of gang culture, which continues to plague the city. While Glasgow made notable efforts to combat these gangs in the past, the increasing demand for drugs and the competition for territory have reignited tensions among criminal groups. This has led to a sharp uptick in incidents of stabbings and shootings. One of the most pressing concerns for Glaswegians is the youth involvement in these criminal activities. More and more young people are being lured into the gang lifestyle, and the result is a new generation caught up in violence and fear. The drug trade is often at the core of these violent outbreaks, with organised crime syndicates controlling much of the flow of narcotics into the city. In response, local authorities have launched crime reduction programmes such as No Knives, Better Lives, which focuses on educating young people about the dangers of violence. Despite these efforts, the crime wave in Glasgow continues to be a significant issue, with many citizens questioning whether the current measures will be enough to turn things around. Glasgow's crime crisis highlights the complex relationship between poverty, youth disenfranchisement, and the continuing struggle to maintain peace. Number 7. Liverpool. Liverpool, a city once celebrated for its cultural heritage and vibrant arts scene, is now facing a growing crisis as it battles a surge in violent crime and gang activity. Known globally for its musical legacy and historical significance, Liverpool is grappling with a troubling increase in drug-related crimes, armed robberies, and violent assaults that are affecting both residents and visitors alike. One of the most concerning trends in Liverpool is the rise in gang violence. Many of these criminal groups are engaged in the illegal drug trade, which has led to a spike in shootings and stabbings. These incidents, often linked to territorial disputes between rival gangs, are becoming more frequent, particularly in certain neighbourhoods where poverty and unemployment are rampant. The growing criminal networks are not only impacting public safety, but also contributing to a sense of fear and insecurity throughout the city. In addition to gang violence, property crimes such as burglary and car thefts have seen a dramatic increase in recent years. Vandalism and antisocial behaviour are also becoming more prevalent, further affecting the quality of life in many of Liverpool's communities. The city's iconic waterfront and popular nightlife areas, once bustling with tourists, now see an increased police presence as authorities try to manage the rising criminal activity. Efforts are being made to address Liverpool's crime issues, with initiatives like community policing, youth engagement programs, and greater investment in local law enforcement. However, the city's rising crime rates highlight the deep-rooted social and economic issues that need to be tackled in order to prevent further deterioration of public safety. As Liverpool works to reclaim its vibrant reputation, its struggle with crime continues to cast a long shadow, leaving many wondering if the current measures will be enough to restore the city's once strong sense of safety and community. Number 6. Nottingham. Nottingham, a city steeped in history and known for its ties to the legend of Robin Hood, is now facing a sharp rise in crime that's shaking the local community. Once considered a vibrant cultural hub, Nottingham is grappling with escalating rates of violent crime, street robberies, and drug-related offences. A significant concern in the city is the increase in knife crime and gang violence. Gangs are gaining influence in many areas of Nottingham, and the competition for control over drug distribution networks has contributed to an uptick in stabbings and violent confrontations. These violent outbreaks often involve young people who have become vulnerable to gang recruitment due to social exclusion and a lack of economic opportunities. The rise in youth violence is a growing issue, making certain neighbourhoods feel unsafe for residents. In addition to violent crime, property crimes like burglary and vehicle thefts have also increased in recent years. Many residents report feeling increasingly concerned about their personal safety and security, particularly in high crime areas. The economic challenges faced by many local communities have only compounded these issues, with unemployment and poverty creating fertile ground for criminal activity to flourish. Local authorities are attempting to address these concerns through youth outreach programs, increased police patrols, and community-based initiatives. However, despite these efforts, Nottingham's crime rates continue to rise, and the city is still struggling to find long-term solutions. As the crime crisis deepens, residents and visitors alike are left wondering what the future holds for Nottingham's safety and reputation. Number 5. Leeds. Leeds, a dynamic city known for its thriving economy, universities, and diverse culture, is facing a growing crisis as crime rates continue to surge. Once regarded as a beacon of opportunity in northern England, Leeds is now struggling to combat a rising tide of violent crime, gang-related violence, and drug-related offences. The city, with its vibrant student population and bustling nightlife, is becoming an increasingly dangerous place for its residents. One of the most troubling aspects of Leeds' crime problem is the rise in violent crime, including stabbings, robberies, and assaults. Gang violence has become a significant issue, with criminal groups fighting for control of drug territories and engaging in brutal clashes. These violent outbreaks are not confined to the poorer areas of the city, but are spilling into more affluent neighbourhoods as well, making it hard for people to feel safe anywhere. The youth involvement in these gangs is particularly concerning, with many young people turning to crime due to social and economic pressures. Along with violent crime, property crimes such as burglary, car thefts, and vandalism have risen sharply in recent years. The sense of insecurity is growing as residents and business owners report an increase in criminal activity, particularly in areas that are heavily trafficked by tourists and students. Drug-related crime also remains a pervasive issue, with Leeds becoming a hotspot for drug trafficking and substance abuse. The city's authorities have launched various initiatives to tackle these issues, including increased police patrols, youth diversion programs, and community outreach efforts. However, the effectiveness of these measures is still being questioned, as crime continues to rise. Leeds' struggle to maintain peace and safety highlights the ongoing challenges of addressing poverty, unemployment, and inequality, factors that often fuel criminal behaviour. As Leeds faces this crisis, the question remains: can the city turn things around, or will crime continue to define its future? Number 4. Sheffield. Sheffield, known for its rich industrial heritage and stunning landscapes, is now facing a worrying increase in crime that's casting a shadow over its once peaceful reputation. This city, once a thriving hub of innovation, is now struggling with a surge in gang violence, drug-related offences, and violent crime that is affecting both its residents and visitors. One of the most alarming trends in Sheffield is the rise of gang-related activity. These gangs are increasingly involved in the drug trade, leading to a surge in stabbings and violent confrontations. The ongoing struggle for control over drug territory is contributing to the rise in violence, especially among younger individuals who are drawn into the criminal lifestyle due to a lack of opportunities. This has led to a growing sense of fear and insecurity in some neighbourhoods. In addition to the rise in violent crimes, Sheffield is also seeing an increase in property crimes like burglary, car theft, and vandalism. The financial strain caused by economic challenges in parts of the city is often a catalyst for these criminal activities, as individuals struggle to make ends meet. Sheffield's city centre, once a popular destination for both locals and tourists, is becoming increasingly affected by antisocial behaviour and public disorder. Local authorities have responded with efforts to tackle these issues, including youth intervention programs, increased police presence, and community initiatives aimed at reducing crime. However, despite these measures, Sheffield's crime rate continues to rise, highlighting the ongoing struggle to address the root causes of crime in the city. As the crime wave continues, the city is left grappling with the challenge of restoring public safety and confidence. Number 3. Brighton. Brighton, renowned for its vibrant art scene, bohemian atmosphere, and popular tourist attractions, is experiencing a troubling rise in crime rates that has left many residents and visitors on edge. While the city is still known for its beautiful coastline and lively nightlife, the increase in criminal activity is starting to overshadow its positive reputation. One of the major issues Brighton is facing is the sharp rise in property crime, including thefts, car break-ins, and burglary. The city's popularity with tourists has unfortunately made it a prime target for criminals, with areas frequented by visitors seeing a significant uptick in street crimes. Additionally, drug-related offences have become more prevalent, with Brighton becoming a key location for the drug trade. This surge in drug trafficking is linked to a rise in violence, as criminal groups fight for control over the market. Another disturbing trend is the increase in violent crimes, such as assaults and stabbings. Although Brighton's coastal beauty and reputation for tolerance draw in many people, certain areas of the city are becoming hotspots for gang activity and antisocial behaviour. The lack of affordable housing and job opportunities is contributing to the social tensions that fuel these criminal behaviours, especially among young people who feel disenfranchised. In response, local authorities are stepping up efforts to curb the crime wave, with increased police presence, community outreach programs, and a focus on addressing underlying social issues. However, despite these efforts, Brighton's crime problem continues to grow, leaving many questioning how much longer the city can maintain its reputation as a safe and welcoming destination. Number 2. London. London, the UK's vibrant and bustling capital, is grappling with an escalating crime wave that has captured the attention of both residents and visitors. Known globally for its rich history, iconic landmarks, and diverse culture, London's increasingly becoming a city under siege by rising violent crime, gang activity, and drug-related offences. One of the most concerning trends in London is the sharp increase in knife crime and violent assaults. In recent years, incidents of stabbings have become disturbingly frequent, particularly in certain boroughs. These violent acts are often linked to gang rivalry and territorial disputes, as criminal groups fight for dominance in the lucrative drug trade. The rise in youth violence is another alarming factor, with young people being recruited into gangs due to a combination of economic deprivation, lack of opportunities, and peer pressure. Alongside the rise in violent crime, property crime has also become a major issue in London. Burglary, vehicle theft, and street robbery have all seen significant increases, especially in central areas where wealthier residents are often targeted. The influx of tourists has made certain neighbourhoods more vulnerable to thefts and scams, adding to the city's growing safety concerns. London's extensive public transportation system, while a hallmark of the city, has also become a hotspot for criminal activity. Pickpocketing, drug dealing, and violent crimes are unfortunately becoming more common in busy train stations and on the London Underground, making many feel less safe in their daily commute. In response, London's police forces have stepped up efforts to combat these issues, with initiatives like increased police patrols, youth intervention programs, and the deployment of armed response units. However, despite these measures, the city continues to struggle with its rising crime rate, leaving many questioning whether the capital's reputation for safety will ever return. The question remains: how long can London withstand this crime surge before its safety is compromised beyond repair? Number 1. Manchester. Manchester, once celebrated for its industrial heritage, musical legacy, and thriving cultural scene, now finds itself at the centre of a crime epidemic that is rapidly worsening. Despite its position as one of the UK's most iconic cities, Manchester is struggling with an alarming surge in violent crime, gang-related activity, and property crimes that have shaken its residents and tarnished its reputation. One of the most pressing issues facing Manchester is the rise in gang violence. Rival gangs, often involved in the drug trade, are engaged in frequent violent clashes, leading to an increase in stabbings, shootings, and other violent assaults. These incidents have become more common in both the city centre and surrounding neighbourhoods, making residents feel unsafe in their own communities. The youth involvement in these gangs is especially concerning, as young people are drawn into criminal activity due to a lack of opportunities, economic hardship, and the influence of gang leaders. In addition to violent crime, Manchester has seen a rise in property crimes, including burglary, car theft, and robberies. The city's growing poverty and inequality are fueling these criminal behaviours, as many people turn to crime as a means of survival. Drug abuse and drug trafficking also continue to plague the city, exacerbating the issue by contributing to the cycle of violence and criminal behaviour. Despite efforts from local authorities to combat these issues, such as increased police presence, community-based initiatives, and youth engagement programmes, the crime rates in Manchester continue to climb. The city is now at a crossroads, with rising concerns about its ability to restore safety and security. As the crime crisis deepens, Manchester must confront the root causes of its issues or risk seeing its reputation further tarnished. Will the city be able to reclaim its safety, or will crime continue to define its future? And there you have it, 10 UK cities that are struggling with a rising crime crisis. These cities, once known for their cultural vibrancy, are now facing real challenges as violent crime, gang activity, and property thefts become part of the daily reality. But as we've seen, the root causes are complex. Poverty, drug trafficking, and social inequality all play a significant role in this troubling trend. The question is, can these cities turn things around before it's too late? We hope this video opened your eyes to the harsh reality some of the UK's biggest cities are facing. But now we want to hear from you. Do you live in one of these cities? Have you experienced the rising crime firsthand? Or do you think there's another city that should have made the list? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get a conversation going. And hey, we put a lot of effort into bringing you the latest news and shocking truths. So if you found this video insightful, it would mean the world if you could hit that subscribe button. It's just one click, but it helps us create more amazing content like this for you. Join our community, stay informed, and be part of the conversation. Don't miss out on future videos. We've got a lot more coming your way. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay safe, stay aware, and we'll see you in the next video.